Hi, I am Johanna Letlhogela. I am a human of JGF.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Pillay, and I am a human of JGF.
Ifikile imini enkulu. Welcome to the Humans of JGF, a JGF holiday special highlighting the brilliant minds behind our vision. And when these two tag team on a project, we just sit, wait, and marvel in amazement how things come about from nothing to an impeccable something. In the organization, people already know who I'm talking about. It can only be Johanna and Rebecca. Guys, your names rhyme. Let's start there. Johanna and Rebecca. I mean, you are really a duo. It was written in the stars. How are you, ladies?
I am good, Matabo. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much, Joe. Rebecca.
I'm doing good, thanks, Matabo.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. Good to have you guys. I'll start with you, Rebecca. Where are you from?
I'm from the sunny Durban.
Sunny Durban. And you, Joe?
I am from the dusty streets of Taung in the northwest next to Northern Cape.
All right. Now, we were talking offline. Pearl said in Rebecca's to Rebecca in the message that she was relaying to Rebecca that, you know what, Rebecca is the only real Indian in this organization. And when Rebecca, what does Pearl mean by that?
It means that I can squeeze money out of a rock.
Goodness gracious. And you were talking about how you can squeeze money out of a rock. But when it comes to your own cash dollar, Joe, how does Rebecca fare when it comes to her own money?
When it comes to her own money,
Yeah.
she just wants to pay. Like, she will even force me to buy something. She'll be like, I'll buy for you, my friend. I'll be like, no, Rebecca, I am okay. You know, I've been declining her offers since Wednesday. She's been wanting to spend. And I'll be like, no, Rebecca, I'm okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. What's going on with that, Rebecca?
I'm not too sure. I think if Pearl mentioned Indians, we come from a family where we always do things big, right?
Yes.
And so if we have visitors over, we won't just cook 1 or 2 meals. It'll probably be 5 different dishes on the table.
Feast.
It's a feast. You should come over for Christmas, Matabo. Feel
that's
free
an
to come
invite.
over. Yes. So, like, even from the little we have, we always want to share. We always want to give. That's how we've been brought up. Yeah.
I love that, the spirit of generosity, and it makes itself known in you guys individually and as a team. So I need for you to describe to us what you guys do individually in the organization and how this magic comes together when you are tag teaming on projects. I'll start with you, Joe.
Oh, wow. In the organization, I must say, what can I say? I am a magic maker.
Okay, thank you. Let's start there.
I turn things that are not there into life, like your events. I make sure that when you leave the event, you are like, wow, was that done by Johanna or planned by Johanna? And with Rebecca, I worked with Rebecca from the AGOF, and we were so good together.
Yes.
So that's why we are still working great together. We are making magic together, and she is always there holding my hand, and I love that about her.
Yeah. Rebecca, how is this experience of tag teaming with Joe on projects, and also just yield into also what you do individually in the organization?
Okay, so it's awesome to work with Johanna because we have this partnership, as she mentioned, from the Allan Gray Orbis Foundation. And we did events there together. So sometimes when Johanna needs assistance in events, then I'm able to support her. And she always says, Becca, please come and do site visits because you know how to negotiate. So,
Yes.
so I try to assist her in negotiating and to assist her with different administrative tasks when she does need. And then my job specifically is all about paying the beneficiaries allowances and fees. But it's not just, submitting this amount and saying to finance you have to pay. It's liaising with stakeholders at various universities, the fees office, the NISFIS coordinators and the FUNZA coordinators, and establishing a relationship built on trust where we can liaise with them and get answers like speedily and just work as a team with the universities. And it's been really great. The universities have been very supportive, and I think the most important thing is building a relationship. Yes. You cannot make anything work without building a relationship. So sending instructions over email, for me, that's a little bit cold. So basically, I pick up a phone, show the person I'm engaged with them, that I care about them as a person, and that's how we kind of develop and build that relationship.
I have a story about Rebecca and phone calls, right? If there's one person in this organization who believes in the phone call,
that's me,
Rebecca Pillay. Yeah. And I'd be sitting and I'm just like, it's Rebecca. And I pick up, hi, Matabo, my friend. Can I just talk to you for 2 seconds? I'm just like, you know what, guys? You can't even be mad. It's Rebecca. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's doing the Lord's work. Like, honestly, moving mountains. And with Joe, last week, Joe was on leave. Did our worlds not crumble little by little? When Joe is not around, I found myself almost like mentally doing a countdown. Because now, as a team, obviously, when a team member needs to do something important, we all put up our socks and we do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Found myself hyperventilating at every single point and asking, how does Johanna do this? How does Johanna do this? I was doing mental countdowns. When Johanna said I'll be back on Tuesday, by 8:30 she had a whole email from me. Johanna, I need this. I was so excited to have her back. And this is just to say, ladies, that the work that you do, I think most of the time in the organization, we have a kind of awareness of people who do front-facing work. And it's front-facing by its nature, right? Program officers, program managers, program directors. But there is an entire life force behind us that makes it possible for us to put together this experience that goes beyond us sitting together and devising and designing the program. But the program shows itself in how we take care of the candidate fellows, being efficient, and also caring about detail. And that's the thing I learned from you, Joe, caring about the detail. That's where personality and trust is harnessed. And for me, Rebecca, just being efficient. Just do the work. Just do the work. So there are great lessons to be learned from Johanna and Rebecca as it relates to their approach to work. And obviously, we are a teaching fellowship. Yes. And we are going to rewind a bit and go back to our schooling days. Rebecca, take us to your first memory of being at school.
So, although I'm an introvert, I'm also a little bit naughty. Yeah. So, you know that, right?
Okay.
So at school, my first day at school was quite memorable for me. And so I grew up as being the youngest girl, so a little bit spoiled, and 4 older brothers. So I was a bit of a tomboy, right? So I get to school and the children are arriving with their parents, and the parents are saying goodbye, and my mom says bye to me, and I'm like, bye mom, see you later. And then there are all these children that are crying, and I'm like, what is happening here? Yeah, because it's like the first day of school, and I think for me that's a memory for me, because like I wondered, like, why am I not crying? Like what's happening here? Why are people crying? But that's my memory of going to school and seeing all this happen. And for me, it was like I was a bit hardcore. I was like excited to see what's gonna happen, and yeah, that's what I remember.
Joe, your earliest memory of being at school?
My earliest memory of school is most similar to Rebecca's one.
Yeah.
I started school when I was like 5.5. So
Okay.
I'm the last born at home. So the very first day of school, I woke up at 4 or 3 in a.m. And my brother, I have like 4 brothers as well.
Yeah.
So there was this, the middle brother. I woke him up. I pulled the blankets. I was like, wake up, because
You're
it was
going to school.
yes. And he was there like, no, it's still early. I'm like, no, you can see it's bright outside. And I'm like, and he's like, but it's still early. You cannot be going to school so early. And I was like, I'm gonna dress up and go to school because I bathed the night before.
I'm dying.
So I dressed up without bathing and I took my school bag and I was like, bye guys, you will meet me at school. Only when I opened the door, I'm like, oh, it's still dark. And I had to go back and I sat there, I cried.
Oh, no.
Like I just wanted to see myself at school. And that was my best memory of being at school.
So with that then, what kind of learner were you, Joe, at school?
I was that learner that was I asked questions. I'm a bit shy child, but at that point, like I was the only one who would be like, I raise up my hand, ma'am. If they say 1 + 1, I'll be like, I just wanted to answer. And I was sort of an A student because I was like number 1 up until standard 6, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I was that bright child. So that's what the child that I was at school.
Rebecca, what kind of learner were you at school?
So I was very inquisitive. I enjoyed like finance, right? So it's a wonder I'm in finance now.
Yes.
So like maths and accounting and I also enjoyed science, but I really enjoyed maths and accounting. And I was also the one who always did the homework and on time, stayed until like after class to help the teacher, to set the books, to do things like that. Yeah, I really enjoyed school.
Lovely, lovely. And then who is your favorite teacher, Rebecca?
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dorifsamy, and the reason why he was my favorite teacher is, competition is one of my strengths.
Okay.
And I'm very competitive. So I always wanted to play cricket. Like my family loved watching cricket, and I always wanted to play cricket, but there was no cricket for girls.
Oh, wow.
But he allowed me to play cricket. And you know what's really cool about this teacher? He also taught me how to swim, because I didn't know how to swim. So our school took us to the local swimming pool and he taught me how to swim. I learned how to play volleyball. And he was really like one of those teachers that inspired you and gave you a chance, even though maybe it was against the rules or whatever. But if he saw potential within you, he like pushed me and he used my competitive spirit to get me to compete with others. So it was really good.
And competitive spirit to grow you as a person.
Exactly.
Joe?
My favorite teacher, and I think he's still my favorite because we're still communicating until today. It's my history teacher in high school, Mr. Mudiri Kilukilwe. That teacher, he was the sweetest teacher ever. Like he is the teacher who inspired me, who wanted me to be the best that I could be. Like I would say, I was a bit shy, but he will push me. He will be like, you can do this. He will assist me how to write the essays. And he also taught English as well. So he was like that teacher that if he see potential in a child, he won't give up on you. Yeah. So he saw potential in me and he didn't give up on me. And like I said, I still in communication with him until today because he is that teacher that pushed me to be who I am today. So Mr. Kilukilwe, yeah.
Shout out to you. Shout out to both our favorite teachers. Now we are at JGF.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay!
Rebecca, how did you come across JGF?
Well, I worked at the Allan Gray Orbis Foundation before, and Julian was my manager. And so basically, I came back to South Africa. I was in China, actually. I was teaching English in China.
Okay.
And so I met with Julian when I came back and just heard the great things that JGF was doing. And then there was some project that they wanted me to work on, which was the T4 World Education Week. And so they needed some assistance with that. And then Julian called me and asked me to assist with that. And when I got involved, it was so interesting, right? The work that we do here is amazing. And so I wanted to be part of it. And then there was another opportunity, which is my role. And then I got into that. And it's been a great, amazing journey, just working, if I can share, but just working with the team. And although, we are from, I work from Durban.
Yes.
So I have an office in Durban. Please come and visit. Yes, please come and visit my office. But yes, I'm in the Durban office. Yeah. And then there's the Johannesburg and Cape Town office. But I feel so connected to the team because we meet on a weekly basis. And also, as I mentioned, I'm the one to pick up the phone. I always feel like, sometimes sending a text or an email, you don't have a connection with that person.
Yes.
And the team's been so great. People will talk to me, like you, Matalbo, and you're like, no problem, Rebecca. And I have amazing conversations with the team on how can we improve things or just updating them on situations and then us troubleshooting together.
Yeah.
So it's been an unbelievable experience, really rewarding.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest to the fact that when Rebecca calls you, she's not calling to speak at you. She's calling to speak with you. For you to arrive to a solution together and give you, as a person who appreciates updates, Rebecca is a dream. Top to bottom. And then I said this, and then I said that, and then this is going to happen. No. What do you think? I'm like, oh, yes. I love it here. I love it here.
That's my friend there.
I love it here. I love it here. I love it here. Joe, how did you come across JGF?
Oh, sure. I worked for AGOF, Allan Gray Orbis Foundation. I started working there in 2009, right?
2009, yes.
Yeah, it was 2009. And the way I came about Allan Gray Orbis Foundation is that my daughter was going to grade 6 and I applied for her scholarship. They have the scholarship opportunity for grade 6 high school. So I applied for my daughter, and when my daughter couldn't get the scholarship, I was like, I need to work for that organization.
Okay, so she can't get the scholarship, but I can get the
then
job.
I can get the job. Then I got the job. I started as a receptionist and I was interviewed by Rebecca.
And her interview was amazing. She was so passionate and we had to get on board.
I love that story. This is such a 360. The person who hired you is the other person tag teaming with me. Oh, please.
And I started as a receptionist. I think within few months, she got promoted to a selection coordinator. And then she was like, I want you on board. And I was the selection assistant, and we tag team from there, myself and Rebecca. And I worked there for 10 years for AGOF. And when Julian started the JGF, I was like to Julian, whenever there is an opening, I want to be there. And I was an events and logistics coordinator at AGOF. And when Julian wanted the events and logistics specialist, I was like, Julian, I am your person. Yeah. And that's how I came about to JGF.
This is so brilliant because irrespective of the position, it's not even about the job titles anymore.
It's not.
In ethic, that I work with Joe, I work with Rebecca, and we make magic. We are magic makers. You can call us specialists of this, specialists of that. At the end of the day, what we create as a team is magic. I'm quite curious though, before you got into the roles that you have now, right? Even before AGOF, what kind of career journeys did you have before we see you as the people that you are now? You have different faces and phases of your life. So before Rebecca, as we know her now, what were the different faces of Rebecca and different phases that contribute to the person that we see today?
Yeah, so this is probably a story to share. So I went to university and I didn't actually finish my degree.
Okay.
Right. And so then I worked for a church afterwards, and I worked for a psychologist thereafter.
As what with the psychologist?
Administration. So like scoring the psychometric test. She would do the reporting, but I would score and do the various administrative tasks. And at the church, there was also a conference center, so I would do events over there. And after that, I worked at a retail store where, like as a sales person. And then I moved to Johannesburg, and that's where I started at AGOF as a selection person, and then moved into the mentorship management role. From there, I moved to China and taught English. It was, teaching in the classroom, right? Metabo, isn't that an amazing opportunity? And just seeing the potential within these students and being a part of their growth. Even if it's a small part, but just being a part of their growth. That was amazing. So that kind of, brought me to where I am right now.
I love it. Joe?
Oh, sure. My journey. I started off working at Woolworths. I was a finance administrator at Woolworths. And then I moved over to Media 24. I was also a finance clerk there. So I have always been in a financial sort of capacity. And that's why I said when I joined the Allan Gray Orbis Foundation, I was like, even if I start from the bottom, this is speaking to my passion, and I am going to join this this organization. I left the finance clerk position to come and be a receptionist. So that's just how passionate I was about the Allan Gray Orbis Foundation and the vision. I just love the vision of Allan Gray's vision. It spoke to my heart, and I was like, I need to be part of this vision and make sure that I contribute to it, to the better South Africa. So that's why I joined the Allan Gray Orbis Foundation. And when Julian started the teaching fellowship, because I wanted to be a teacher at some stage, but because Rebecca says, I didn't finish my degree as well. So I was like, but I would just want to work with these young minds. I can contribute to them and for their future, and that's why I joined the JGF as well.
This is so beautiful. So you applied for your daughter to get the scholarship. She didn't get the scholarship, but you got the job. And you wanted to be a teacher. You didn't get the opportunity to be a teacher, but she's a teacher.
She's a teacher, yes.
that is an amazing story to tell. That's an amazing story. But while Joe was speaking about like how the vision of Mr. Allan Gray spoke to her, what about JGF or even the Allan and Joe Gray philanthropies? We can even broaden it. What is it about this vision that resonates with your own personal vision as a person, Rebecca?
Metabo, we got the opportunity to meet Mr. Gray. And one of the things he said was, find something you really enjoy doing in life, and you will never have to work another day in your life, And that's true. This vision is all about developing future educators and also leaders in South Africa. And I think even though we now work at JGF, so was the Allan Gray Orbis Foundation, was developing future entrepreneurs. And I mentioned, it's so good, like when we were in the classroom, just development, right? So so for me, I'm really passionate about people development. And, I mentioned to you, I didn't finish my degree. And I just want to stress that it's really important to finish your degree. So I learned that lesson later on in life. I should have, in hindsight, I should have finished it then. I went back to university recently and finished my degree, But just like people development is so important. And if you look out there at the landscape of South Africa, there's so many people who don't have an opportunity to actually, learn and grow, and they don't have someone there to support them. And if we can just be a part of this and hopefully, just like also inspiring our candidate fellows
Yeah.
to then go out there in the classroom, because that's where many of the people are, and to see this potential and develop that potential. If we can be part of it, it's like a chain reaction, right? And just to see that happen, it's so amazing and it's so rewarding. And even though, you know, in any organization, there's going to be days where you're frustrated or you're tired, but it's so much joy to work where you feel like you're making a difference. And that's how I feel at JGF.
Sure. Joe, how does this vision held by the Allan and Jill Gray Philanthropies, what about it resonates with you?
To me, I have always been passionate about people development, and this is exactly what this vision is doing. And to me, it gives me so much joy to know that I am part of this vision that helps develop these young leaders, future leaders. And when I see these young teachers doing amazing work, and I'm like, yes, I was part of their journey. It just gives me joy, and I am very, very, very grateful to be part of this journey, of this vision.
Lovely stuff. Rebecca, what surprises you the most about working at JGF?
I think one of the things that surprises me, especially though we are a community that's mainly online, right, is that we gel so well together. You know, I can just like call Metabo or call Jeremy. I'm like, Jeremy, I need to ask you this. I mean, we just gel so well together, and it's more of a family. And that's amazing to find within organizations, right? You know, you can be part of great organizations, but the fact that we work as a unit and we sharpen each other's sword, like, you know, it's kind of like we are there to sharpen our skills and to assist one another and to help each other be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
And I think that's surprising to find that within a working environment.
Yes.
You can find that within like your friend environment and your social environment, you know, your friends, your family. But you really find that within JGF. And I think that's what's surprising.
Hectic. Joe?
Sure. I would say, I think, I don't know where Jake's Travel Fellowship recruit these young, bright minds, because it's like they were handpicked. Everyone has their strong skills, and when we put them together, they just blossoms, and they become greater. And like Rebecca says, the program team itself, I don't know if it's the recruitment process that makes you guys to be like that or what, but there is just something about the team that we are working together. Even though we are working remotely, there is that support structure that we have, the great support structure that we have. I know I can always rely on anyone at any given point, and I can never go wrong if I pick whoever I call. I don't call more often, but Rebecca is my go-to person, and Julian, because I work closely with them. But whoever I call, I know I will get a response, and it will be to the best of their ability or it will be the great advice or the great idea that I will get from that other person.
Yeah. And I think, Metabo, if I can just add, I think management is so open, right, to putting someone else in the lead. Like, it doesn't have to be the CEO who's leading an event or the program director. It can be just anyone, you know. And say, for instance, you mentioned that let's try this, like, look at this podcast, right? And it's such a great opportunity, and they ran with you, and you're doing an impeccable job, Metabo, but it's something that you saw as a vision, and look at it come to life. And who would have known? Like they just give you, it
There's
wasn't
so much
part of
trust
JGF's plan,
Yeah.
but you came up with the idea. And I think that's great, is that the management, like even working with Pearl, I'll say to Pearl, can we do this? And she's like, sure, no problem. Or Julian, do you think? And Julian's like, okay, write up a proposal. They give you that opportunity. And even in our team meetings, it's not like, okay, I'll be the chair. Everybody gets an opportunity to be the chair.
Yeah.
So it's like improving your skills in a management leadership role as well. That's great.
Shout out to the podcast team, myself and Tulingosi, who came and put our heads together to make this thing work, and the support of the team has been really great. Like what you said, the faith that we are given to do what we feel will contribute to the vision of our organization is really, really great. And now we know that the CFs are at the heart of what it is that we do, right? They are our North Star. We partner with them. We don't give them money to go to school. We partner with their vision to make South African classrooms a safe, transformative, progressive space. When you look at our candidate fellows, Joe, what gives you faith that South African classrooms are in safe hands?
I think what gives me faith is the way they are brave. Their braveness give me faith, because our CFs are go-getters. They are not scared to raise up their hands and say, I can do that. Whenever they are given a challenge, there is no challenge that is bigger than them. Like, they conquer everything. So that's what I believe, that I have faith that our classroom are in good hands. So, yeah.
Rebecca?
So Mataba, I always pick up the phone. So I do engage, even though, I'm not a PO, but I do engage with many of the CFs. And for me to... the one thing that comes across is, number one, humility, which is so key, right?
Yeah.
In getting in relating to others. So even going out there in the classroom and engaging with children, just that humility. And then it's the passion, for them to want to see a change in the classroom, to want to see things differently. Because when I went to school, yes, there were one or two teachers that were, really there, but there were some teachers who just came to teach, and so there's this passion to see a change, and it's new blood that's going to go out there and do something remarkable in the education landscape. So I'm really confident that these bright young minds are going to go out there and change South Africa, and eventually we won't be ranking at the bottom.
Yeah.
Our rank in education, globally, will reach the top through individuals as such.
Brilliant. And as we know, our hashtag is #BeATeacher. And Joe, there's someone who's listening, and in their soul, in their spirit, they know that they want to be a teacher, and they need that word of encouragement. What word would you share with a person who's in that position?
I would like to say to those that would like to be teachers that a teacher is the first person that really starts your journey. And for you to be wherever you are going to start with a teacher. So go out there and be a teacher. And don't think about whatever the negativity that is out there in our education system. Try not to think about it, and just tell yourself that you are going to be a better teacher, and you will make that classroom a better place for everyone.
Sure. Rebecca?
I think the thing is, in life, we all have doubts.
Yes.
Believe in yourself. Be confident in the person that you are and in the message that you believe, or the work that you believe that you have. And also find a mentor. Like, you can learn so much from others. Find a mentor, someone that you look up to, or you may not just ask someone, who do you recommend to be my mentor? And find that person who will hold your hands, who will take that journey with you and lead you to where you want to be. And the most important thing is, don't doubt yourself. Just know that you can do it. Know what's your vision, know what you want to accomplish, and go and do it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your words. And team, after your interview, we will have Amy and Usiwa Piwe for their interview. Could you share your most fondest memories of Usiwa, of Amy, that you recall?
Sure. I knew Amy from the EGOF as well.
Yeah.
We started on the very same day, myself and Amy,
Stop.
in 2020, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Amy has always been that. She's not shy, but she's very calm, and you are not scared to approach Amy at any given time, and whenever you approach Amy for any help that you need, she will always be there to help you. So that's how I know Amy. And Siwa, Siwa is the fun one. Yes. Siwa, I've known Siwa as the very fun person to be with. So since she started with the JGF, she has always brought that fun side of everything. So that's how I know Siwa.
Lovely. And you, Rebecca?
Siwa is the life of the party. If you want to describe Siwa, she's the life of the party. So are you, Matabo, but Siwa is the life of the party.
Siwa is
and she just brings like this element to any event. I mean, like, you've been at selection camp, right? And it's like the end of the camp, like 3 days, but Siwa will bring a passion, her energy, her life into it.
Yeah.
And Amy, when I engage with Amy, she's an amazing person. She's such a nurturer, right?
Yes.
She has this nurturing kind of way about herself.
Yes.
And yes, the calm thing, but it's like, she cares, but she brings it, she amplifies it, right?
Yes.
So I really love engaging. Even Amy is always encouraging, even though she's asking for some assistance in some way, she's always grateful and she expresses that. And it's so good, that coach kind of person. But it's amazing to see that in Amy.
Actually, the way you speak, I'm just like, yes. Yes.
Preach it, sister.
I see that. That's so on point. Ladies, honestly, I don't know what to say in terms of how amazing you guys are as individuals and as a team. Honestly, I feel so bad for anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to work intimately with you in some shape or form. I've had the absolute pleasure of interacting with you, learning from you. It's easy to take the lead from you, and I hope you know how incredibly valued you are in the organization. I hope you guys know that truly, without you, this thing will stop. Okay? This thing will stop. I remember once, I think with Zolani, I was just like, Julian was saying something, and I was just like to Zolani, guys, if Johanna doesn't approve this, Julian can approve this. If Johanna doesn't approve this, none of this is going to happen. Now, I'm just gonna wait for Joe to tell me what to do, because that's how deeply entrenched you guys are in the day-to-day movement of our organization. And it's incredible that your personalities aren't like big, bold, but the quiet power that you both hold. It's with Rebecca saying, Mataba, you need to push. You can't allow them to do this. You need to push harder. Don't allow them to bully you. Don't allow them. Last week when Rebecca was like, no, my friend, I need to tell you, 2 weeks ago you looked horrible. You can't come to work looking like that. You need to rest, Mataba. I'm not saying this from a bad place, but my friend, you need to rest. I was like, yes, Rebecca, but I'm never gonna come to work sick again. So it's just that kind of spirit that you both hold, and I'm sure a lot of people in the organization have incredible stories about you guys. But yeah, that is it for our podcast, and we're really grateful for your presence.
Matabo, thank you so much for the opportunity, and to you and Tuli as well. You guys are doing awesome things, and we're so excited to be part of this. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Matabo, for having us.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, you guys know what to do. You need to go to JGF if you want to follow us on social media, if you want to partner with the work that we do. This is important work. This is generational work. This is legacy work. Let us make an indelible mark as a community where it matters, and it is in education. Good people. It is me, Mata Pillay. We will continue with the series, and you can continue with the conversation on social media. And from me, I will see you guys later.